Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are doing well. Just thought I'd hop on and talk a little bit about what's been going on in the sports world, or lack thereof, for the past week. Just dive into a little bit of NFL free agency, some news that's going around. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So obviously, as you guys know, it's been a crazy week and weekend in the sports world all over the place. We've obviously been going through with this coronavirus, and it started last week. Towards the end of the week, Rudy Gobert, the star center from the Utah Jazz, tested positive for the coronavirus, and over the course of the next couple of hours, the entire sports world shut down. The NBA canceled games. MLB was postponing games. MLS soccer was postponing games. All of the sports world over the course of the next couple hours and over the course of the next few days, we're canceling games, canceling tournaments, postponing games, shutting everything down for the foreseeable future until they figure out what's going on and how to proceed. And since then, everything else has pretty much been shut down in the sports world and in the world in general. But so there's not really a lot to talk about in the sports world. There's no basketball, there's no baseball, there's no soccer, there's nothing going on other than the NFL, which is in its free agency, which is in the off season, I should say, and free agency just kicked off. And a lot's been going on so far. You got players re-signing, you got players leaving, you got players joining new teams. So I want to talk a little bit about that since there's nothing really else to talk about. There's no other sports, and I figured free agency start up again. Why not? We'll talk a little bit free agency. So just want to give my take on some of the moves and some of the things that's been going on there. So I think biggest news of all, Tom Brady is officially leaving the New England Patriots. He posted something on social media thanking the fans, thanking the organization, saying he's going to finish his career elsewhere. So that's it. The Brady era in New England is done. As a Dolphins fan, I'm very happy about that. I think everybody in the NFL is happy about that because we all expect that the Patriots are not going to be the same, but you never know. And finally, hopefully, I should say, we can expect that the Patriots are not going to be in the Super Bowl for another year. So that's good. I think everybody's excited about that, other than the people in Boston. But Tom Brady is no longer going to be a Patriot. There were reports earlier today that the Chargers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were the two teams heavily interested in acquiring him. I saw a report a little bit earlier that the Buccaneers were expected to be the front runners to sign him by tomorrow. So we should see, we'll see what happens there in regards to that contract. But from what I heard, the Patriots never really reached out to him. They never really, tried to contact him to talk about re-signing, to coming back to finish his career. And so Brady proceeded to make the decision for them, and decided, you know what, so I'm going to finish my career elsewhere and go on from there. So no more Brady in New England, which is good. So that was the biggest news, I think, so far. You had the my hometown Dolphins were going heavy on the defensive side. They signed Kyle Van Noy, who's now a former Patriot. Shaq Lawson from the Bills. They signed Byron Jones. They're paying him to be now the highest paid corner, former Dallas Cowboy, to pair up with Xavier Howard, which on paper looks like arguably the best secondary, the best two-corner combo in the NFL. So that should be interesting. Hopefully they can take paper to the field and put everything into fruition. But they're going heavy on the defensive side. They also signed an offensive tackle, Eric Flowers, yesterday. So they're going heavy. A lot of these guys that they've signed so far have been on the defensive side, boasting up that defense. I think they've got some receivers that they like. They've got, I think they're going to try and go, running back in the draft to get another running back. They're obviously going to go offensive line in the draft, but I think they're happy with the receiving core. The defense is where I think they were hoping to boost up a little bit. So that's why I think they've been going, a little heavy on the defensive side. Also, we had Ryan Tannehill signing a big 4-year contract to remain with the Titans. Derrick Henry got franchise tagged in hopes, I think, of the Titans coming up with a long-term deal to keep him in Tennessee, which then obviously forced Marcus Mariota to have to find a new location, and he ultimately signed with the soon-to-be Las Vegas Raiders. So he will be headed way out west. And also we had, tons of trades. Aside from the free agency side of things, there were trades all over the place. You had Stephon Diggs got traded to Buffalo. The now former Minnesota Viking receiver got traded to Buffalo to pair up with Josh Allen. And then in a shock that I don't think anybody saw coming, I think it was one of the first moves of the free agency period. DeAndre Hopkins got traded to the Arizona Cardinals in exchange, along with the draft pick, in exchange for David Johnson, the running back, and an Arizona draft pick. So DeAndre Hopkins and a draft pick for David Johnson and a draft pick. And to me, I when I saw it, first the news came out that David Johnson was getting traded to the Houston Texans, and I thought, okay, that'll be nice. David Johnson, Deshaun Watson, you got Lamar Miller, Duke Johnson, and DeAndre Hopkins. They got a good, offensive tandem going on over there. And then comes to find out, as we started hearing the reports and hearing the details of the trade, we come to find out that DeAndre Hopkins is a part of that trade. And to me, I think it's one of the craziest trades I've ever seen. Definitely did not expect it, because you have Deshaun Watson, who's one of the best, if not the best, young quarterback in the NFL, maybe behind Patrick Mahomes. And DeAndre Hopkins has been one of the best receivers in the league consistently year after year. And you pair him with a guy like Deshaun Watson, you're bound to have success in the NFL. You're bound to be successful. You take that away from one of the young bright spots of your team, not just of your offense. You take that receiver away from him. There's not much to work with there. I mean, who's he going to throw the ball to? And he's got Kenny Stills and Will Fuller. I mean, I don't think that the trading of DeAndre Hopkins for a running back, who in my opinion, he had that one good year a few years back, but David Johnson is not, to me, equivalent in a trade for DeAndre Hopkins in his prime. DeAndre Hopkins is not old. It's not like he's old. He's not injury prone. He's producing numbers year after year. And to me, the trade made absolutely no sense when I first heard it. It makes absolutely no sense now. So, I mean, Bill O'Brien, I don't know what he was thinking exactly. I don't know what he was trying to do. I don't know. Maybe there was some rift in the locker room. Maybe there were some issues he had with Hopkins. But from what I've heard so far, there's none of that. And they just traded him. They just traded him away. And to me, it makes absolutely no sense. Easily one of the shocks of the free agency period thus far. I don't think anybody expected it. I don't think anybody saw it coming. And still, I'm like mind blown. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. Like I said, this is the only thing that's happening right now is NFL free agency and draft talk. There's no basketball. There's nothing else. There's no other sports that's going on. So it's pretty much just NFL free agency news and draft talk. So I'm gonna keep my eyes locked on figuring out what's going on and seeing where people go. More trades, more signings that's to come. There's tons of players still out there in free agency. There's still tons of moves to be made. So I'm eager to see what's going on. I'm eager to see, what comes next, what kind of big news comes next. So, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know some of your opinions on what's going on in the sports world. And I look forward. I'll talk to you guys again next time. Look forward to it. All right. Peace.